la 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 la. Okay, well, we are back with episode 3 of season 13 of Drag Race. I feel compelled to say, disclaimer, we are not experts on this. We've watched like 3 seasons and some YouTube videos, so yeah.
We watch a lot of Trixie and Katya. It is good. It's very good.
So, okay, so this was the 3rd episode of a strange season.
Yeah. You
have had the biggest bone to pick with the format.
Yeah.
How do you feel now that we've actually gotten into...
Better. I feel better. It does feel a little more even now.
I like these girls better.
I think Utica is really interesting. And I like Rosé. I like Rosé's whole vibe.
Okay. I still don't trust Rosé.
No.
Okay.
Full bitch. Full bitch. But I like the drag.
Yeah,
And also he's hot.
Yeah.
Hey, those eyebrows.
You're taking everything.
Sorry.
So this is the tradier of the groups. Did I use that correctly? No, I am just kind of flat in love with Joey J. I think he's so cute, and cute. I actually love the shtick. Yeah. Because the thing is, he's the one that was introduced with "I'm the dumbest bitch you'll ever meet." And for me, that actually just plays as, like, I can't think of the word I want to use. Not humble, but, like...
Well, it's very self-aware.
Because he's not that stupid. He's
No.
not, and he's not pretending to be. It's not, like, playing into that. But I think it's just sort of very grounded, yeah. And I'm curious about the wig thing, because I love a gimmick, and I love sticking to it. Stand by your thing. However, I do agree.
Yeah.
I'm nervous that it was kind of 4 of the same.
You can also... there's only so many ways you can make yourself look like Pink. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was getting
even Pink,
the whole time.
But basically everything we've seen from him has been leotard. Like, so I am a little nervous in that regard.
I mean, the fringy one had like other stuff going, but it was a leotard underneath.
This is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And because I think Michelle's the one that doesn't love a leotard, because it's...
I think it's, because it's a little boring, because she kept on saying a couple seasons ago where she just was like, this is like the 6th leotard we've seen you wear, you need to do something else.
I also did find out that she is, the hair, obviously, the gray streak is real, she's entirely gray.
Oh.
During quarantine, she had like 2 inches of gray roots.
Oh my God.
She was dyeing her hair black, and the fans were like, oh my God, you should do something with it. So she let the streak.
Just part of it stay?
But yeah, there was a picture that she posted from like April, and she just was like 2 inches of white hair.
Oh my God. How old is she?
50.
That's like insane.
It's relatively young for that much.
For full gray, yeah. Wow.
But, yeah, so I liked that.
I think the thing is I think my front runners are still Gottmik and Simone. Simone, right?
Yeah, we did. I do think we have spent a slightly disproportionate amount of time with the other group.
Yeah.
But Philip Henry actually said on Twitter, where he was like, the thing about this format, however interesting it might be, is I already care less about this second group because they just feel like...
Which is what I said.
Important.
Exactly. Which I was like, I just know that no matter what... I was like, I feel like we could spend 2 weeks in a row and I'm going to still be like, when are we getting back to Simone?
Well, but I'm the opposite because I love an underdog and I usually tend to like... So
That's
I am more endeared. I was very impressed with Denali's drag.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't quite get a read on him personality-wise.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong opinion there, but the drag impressed me every time.
Yeah.
And I do like Rosé. I do like honestly, I mean, if we're going with straight looks, mine was Utica. I liked what she did.
A lot more interesting.
Especially the vamp. the Rita Repulsa vamp and all the like makeup and because it's like
even the one with all the balls was so fun.
Well, both, with our limited perspective, both Evie and Crystal Method were chaos. Where
Utica feels like Misty Day.
There's a glamour through line that just sort of it feels more like what I was drawing in my notebooks in high school.
Sure, yeah.
And I really like that about her. Real wild card.
With the Seventh Day Adventist. I was like,
proselytizing on. But it's interesting. I want to see. I don't mind seeing good and or healthy explorations of religion.
Sure.
Because I think far too often it is and can be a very toxic presence.
Definitely.
And so to have people like Utica appears to be, or like from Superstore.
Oh, Glenn.
Yeah. From Superstore.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we could get into a whole thing.
No, I know. I was
tell
like,
you exactly why.
But it's like, because you do get, especially, I mean, a lot of drag queens come from small towns and from southern, this is and that. And you do. I remember it was something you commented on where you're like, I'm surprised how much they talk about God, on Drag Race. And because I even said, I was like, Black Christianity's different than wealthy white Christianity.
In my opinion, it's a lot more Jesus-based, where it's like, act like Jesus. Don't act like you are Jesus and you deserve all of these things. You have to act like Jesus acted.
So I found that interesting. I'm curious to see where if that'll factor in at all.
Especially because I think it was Michelle was like,
walk me through this.
Well, not even that, but like knowing how religious Utica is, her looks were kind of dark and like so I'm interested. That
correlation's there.
For me, I think she's my favorite of this this B team.
She really she has stuck out the most for me in general.
Yeah. Her verse of the song was really good and funny too, and I just she also is so tall and kind of wobbly like a sea kelp or something.
I really like Tamisha as a person.
Yeah.
But I feel like she's just not the strongest.
I agree. I also
I want her on this show for half of it.
Of course.
Big Miss Congeniality vibes.
For sure. I also maybe this is where I am not as versed in drag as I should be, but I thought her dress was just okay, and they were like, oh, this dress. They were like in ecstasies over her dress at the end.
It was. I agree.
It was a good dress.
It was a beautiful dress, and it did kind of look like something that someone might wear on an awards carpet. But I think
it just wasn't very unique.
Well, she's a grand dame, and I think they were sort of signaling a little bit.
That's fine.
Even Tamisha was kind of like.
just okay.
Guest judge Nicole Byer. Not that I think I'm saying anything unique. I haven't stumbled upon something.
This is not a hot take.
But she is so funny.
So funny.
And not every single thing she says has me in stitches, but it's just such effortless.
It's like a general vibe too. She just is generally we vibe
even
on
her
the same
weak
frequency.
sauce is just that's just a true delight.
Yeah. For sure.
And she fits well with them, and I love her.
She's been back a couple times.
Her full, her full drag look. But I'm trying to think.
Kimora.
Yeah. I have not been all that impressed by Kimora's actual looks and stuff.
She's got a great face, and it's very good, but she feels more like a runway model, because it's also. Where'd she get all this couture? And she's just like, oh, it's Bob Mackie. Oh, it's Terry Mugler. And I'm just like, I mean, okay, but when you go back to Kamisha and she makes all of her clothes, and I'm just like...
Wearing Elvira, horsehair.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't understand. It seems so dichotomous. It's like... Well, you're not operating on the same level.
Well, yeah, but this is where I found that her personality stuff made her more interesting to me.
Okay.
Once she started talking and all that. And especially, this was a particularly... something that I do like about how they've divided the girls into two groups is it's given them a boogeyman to put their hostility into.
So it's not with each other. Yeah, I agree.
Because they're getting... we skipped past a few steps.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And yes, we have the obligatory 4 times I'm not here to make friends.
Well, there's also going to be an obligatory where all of them are in the same room at some point, you would imagine. But we are skipping right over the like silky nutmeg ganache stuff, which is thumbs up in my book.
But the knowledge that there is another group has allowed them to push that anxiety to an unseen foe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I have found that interesting. Like, even talking about when they had to vote to send someone home, and how a bunch of them were like,
I voted for Utica
Kimura
first.
And Tamisha were like, I voted for you. You know,
Tamisha. I call her Kamisha. I mean,
Tamisha. Yeah, and back to Utica, that the whole that fingernail thing that just feels right.
100%.
She just feels. Yeah. So this is another one of my issues with competition shows. I don't particularly like them. My person never wins. Yeah. Never goes.
We watched a lot of So You Think You Can Dance, and it was...
My person never...
It was never who we thought it was going to be.
Actually, I was going to say the closest I ever got was Kayla getting, like, 4th. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, or 3rd. I don't remember what she finally ranked, but... no, my person never wins. And so... Because I connect with just the people that I like, and I'm not quite looking at the overall package.
Good they are at the competition.
So I don't really know this early on. I mean, obviously we said Simone was an early front runner. Yeah. I would go ahead and put Denali in that group.
Oh, yeah.
I like Rosé. I just don't know that I think she's gonna win.
I don't think she's gonna win. I just think she's a fun
I agree. I liked that
puzzle.
Look. I liked the
big sleeves.
The plastic kind of purple blue. But I agree with Ross that it did
look... a little crafty.
It looked like it was made out of plastic bottles. You know what I mean? It looked like... And she was so funny. And
but it was neat.
Sitting there.
I just think it was neat. Like, it was a neat, unique thing.
I wasn't like this again. The same way that, like, as nice as the dress that Kimura was wearing, it was kind of like, I've seen
that dress on other drag queens, for sure.
And back to that, because I keep going, maybe Utica, maybe I'm with you. Yeah. Maybe we're just on, because they were like, they weren't wowed by her final look, and I was like, well, it wasn't a complicated sheer look, but I was wowed.
And it did exactly what she said it was supposed to do. It was like a Stevie Nicks thing, and I'm just like, yeah, it is. So Stevie Nicks scarfy thing.
I'm with you there.
So those are my 3. I still am Simone and Gottmik from the like winners, and then Utica I think is my standout from this group.
I want Joey. I feel like Joey's
not long for this world.
Dead man walking. Yeah. I want a couple more weeks because I like.
I think if he puts a wig on,
we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see. He seems to be more of like he does his thing.
Yeah.
Where the rest of them seem like performers.
We will do RuPaul's thing. Yeah. And he's just like, nah.
What was the one from American Idol that I like so much?
Megan
Joy, where she didn't give a fuck about that show. Nope. She was only there for the food.
Yeah, she did great too.
We loved her, but she only went to like number 9. Yeah. So, okay. Anything else that you want to talk about?
I think that's mostly it. I thought there were a lot of like interesting looks this week. I still think, again, and I don't know if this is just like a psychological bias in my head, but like I still think the looks were a little stronger from the other group, but there were some really good ones this week.
So, well, I think next week they're together.
Okay.
I think they're bringing them together. Actually, one last thing I will say is, well, Rue did say starting next week, people are going home.
That's true. I do like that a lot. We've now had 3 weeks to get to know all of these queens.
I have said several times, I'm like, what if they did a season of a show like this where someone didn't go home?
Yeah.
Because what if the first week was just your bad week?
Yeah.
And you could have pulled it out every other.
That's what I would really prefer. I mean, I guess they send them home on that too, but it's like, I like the way they do it on like Making It, where it's like, it doesn't feel mean, you know, it just, in like this, I know that it's the whole thing, but sashay away is so mean. and like take your knives and go. If you're telling me Padma Lakshmi looks you directly in the eyes and says, pack your knives and go, and it's not the most devastating thing you've ever heard.
Eviscerated.
I don't know. I agree with you. I think it would be so much more interesting if you basically, like, if you started a competition show and you kept all of them to the end, and then
at the end you rank them?
No,
so the person who's been there all 10 weeks, it's like, you failed.
I just would like there to be a winner.
Yeah.
Like one winner, but you all get to do all the things. Because it's a similar thing with Bake Off, where it's just like, you know, the guy who's like, oh, I can't wait for bread week. I can't wait for bread week. And then he goes home in chocolate week on week 2 because he likes bread and not chocolate. And it's just like very frustrating.
So, okay, well, we will be back next week to talk about episode 4.
Let's see.
Congratulations, you're number 1.
More of that. Let's get in the studio.